let's play some Kerbal Space Program. So today we're going to take a giant spaceship and use it to colonize Duna. Duna is the Mars equivalent in Kerbal Space Program. So first we refuel, then we leave the space station. So we've got fully gassed up. This spaceship has 2 lander modules connected to like a space station inner ring that docks together. It's got a behind that, it's got a gas tank, basically, a bunch of gas tanks, liquid fuel and monopropellant. Then it's got a bunch of engines strapped to more gas tanks. And the front part is a command module that's got a docking thing for docking with space stations and such. So here we are leaving Kerbin, the Kerbin home system. We've got a couple satellites in orbit you can see. So there we go, we leave the sphere of influence, and now we're on a Kerbal, sun-centric orbit, and it's very close to the other orbit, but we'll have to make some burns to get out to Duna. Once there, we'll have to figure out how to land 2 things at once. We'll see how that works. Getting some beauty shots here. Gorgeous ship. Name of the ship is Gentle Star. It took a lot of launches to build in orbit. It's probably not the most efficient ship, and getting to Duna is probably one of the most efficient or lowest delta V requirements to get to another planet in the Kerbal Space Program, besides the Moon and Minimus. So here I've done the main burn, and I'm just tweaking the intercept with some thrusters. Just a couple meters per second to get as close as possible to the surface of Duna, and then we time warp to go and intercept Duna. So here we are approaching that beautiful red planet, the Mars equivalent in Kerbal Space Program, Duna. It's got 1 satellite, a tiny asteroid. Our goal is to land both of our landers really close together and leave that satellite with 1 Kerbal aboard, just to be there, I guess. I don't know, to look out. He's the welcoming committee. Okay, so there we are, slowing down. We have, let's see, 4 times 7, 28 engines, 28 nuclear engines, and they all put out 60 newtons of thrust. That's about 1.7 kilonewtons, so it's a little bit more than the biggest rocket engine in the game. Just one of them, the, what's it called, Rocco Max, the giant one. But it's super efficient, or not super efficient, it's more efficient. So I'm doing all this without aero braking currently. We will use the atmosphere of Duna to slow us down. What you saw a second ago is just us using our engines to slow down so that we're captured. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm messing with the... I don't know, I guess I'm just looking at stuff. So we're using the atmosphere to slow us down. Looks like we're going to be stuck in a polar orbit. Ideally like around the equator, but whatever, this will work. So we're just slowing down here, slowly but surely. This video was like, when I put it all together, it was about 2 hours of video, and this is just of the video that made it. A lot of the stuff I want, like assembling it, didn't make it in. So it's probably like 8 to 10 hours of gameplay for this one mission. But docking takes a really long time, so... And then... actually running the mission's a lot faster. So we spent most of the fuel, so we get rid of the fuel module, and we just crash that. That's one of the video segments I lost. This was kind of a learning process. Okay, and then with the smaller spaceship and the 2 landers, we try and land them. Each lander's got a small fuel tank to give it some, some steering. It's basically got a 2-man or 2 Kerbal lander on top of like a house hitchhiker module. Okay, this is one of the ones where I failed. I thought it was more interesting because I like how the legs just kind of wobble around. So F5 before you land, F9, and also don't time warp through the landing because you will crash it. So here is the I eventually did get him to land. I'll show you that in a second. Here is the return to Kerbal. We've left the space station in orbit around Duna, and usually don't want to go this deep into the atmosphere, but I didn't have a whole lot of gas left, so and I like the fire effects. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, at the end of the video I'll go back and visit Duna, show you the space station and the 2 lander habitats. I didn't get them too close together, but I guess they can walk. What else they're gonna do? They're stuck on Mars. Okay, so I've got something like 30 or 40 meters per second of fuel left at the end of this burn. Currently I'm on an orbit that would eventually slow me down and cause me to re-enter completely. So I need to be above 70 kilometers on Kerbin. So I just do that. Also in a polar orbit. I don't know why it stuck me in a polar orbit when I came back. I was shooting for around the equator, but this will work, I guess. It is rocket science. So I've got pretty much no gas, but we're in a stable orbit. So what I do is put together a quick shuttle. Yes, there's beautiful home. Home sweet home. So I put together a quick shuttle, and this shuttle needs a lot of fuel. So this is that shuttle. Now it's going up without anyone in it. It's got a probe core to control it, and it'll go up and it'll dock with the Gentle Star, and then return this Kerbal, the bus driver, safely home. So I like the command module, and I like the propulsion module at the end. I think I'm going to redesign the gas module next time, and redesign the lander or whatever I decide to send. Maybe I'll send some rovers next time. But I like the general idea of reusable spaceship parts by docking them together. Okay, so what I do here is basically turn that little ship around, the shuttle. I put in, I think I had about 200 liters of fuel left, and I gave about half of it to the Gentle Star, and then I used the other half to deorbit. And there's separation, and we'll have a re-entry here in a second. There's some re-entry effects. So it's got that shielded docking port at the top of the capsule, and some solar power and stuff, so it doesn't run out of juice. And we're going to be landing somewhere in the northern reaches. There we go. Safe landing. He is glad to be back. That was like a 2-year mission or something. Okay, these guys, they've got a life mission. This is one lander hab. I got them about 45 kilometers away from each other. Not terribly close, but I don't know. I guess they like the privacy. And then that space station was left in polar orbit. So, hey little Kerbals, greetings from Duna. there's the middle part of Gentle Star. Now it's a space station. I haven't decided what to call it yet, but it's got 2 hitchhiker modules and 2 cupolas, so it's nice, and it's upgradable. You know, you can dock something else with it. If you want to dock a couple fuel stations, or gas tanks to it, or landers or whatever, you can do that. I like that design. Okay, thanks for watching.